the stupidest and most dangerous times ever. Right now, we are on the precipice of potentially entering into World War III with Donald Trump and keg breath Pete Hegseth at the helm. If that is not enough to keep you up at night, to have you tossing and turning and, oh, I don't know, freaking the fuck out, I don't know what will. But what I do know is that America is careening towards its end. And the only thing that is left to stop to stop them, to stop us from total and complete annihilation is us. We're it. The Democrats are nowhere to be found. It's terrifying, and it's true. There is no resistance. We are the resistance. So buckle up, dear friends, because we got a lot to get through today. And let's everybody say a silent prayer about my internet, because it is being very wonky. If it goes out, stay put. I will do my best to get back on. All right. Buckle up. Let's get started. Welcome, Damnation, and welcome to the Danielle Moodie Show. Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the Danielle Moodie Show. There is a lot to cover today. Happy Wednesday to all of you. It is just a stress-induced, triggering, nonstop assault on all of our senses, the times that we are living in. The fact that I can't, in all good consciousness, tell you everything is going to be okay. Things will work out because this isn't a Hollywood movie. Tens of millions of people decided not to vote in the last election. They decided that racism, transphobia, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, that none of it had anything to do with them, that they were just going to continue to go along with their lives. Lo and behold, you don't care about politics, but politics sure as fuck cares about you. And now here we are with an administration filled with idiots and cruelty and depravity. So let's pick up where we left off yesterday, which is with Donald Trump's decision around Iran. And here it is. Trump says, he hasn't made up his mind on Iran strikes. In a day of cryptic hints, Trump offered no timetable for a decision to order U.S. forces to join Israel's attack on Iran's nuclear site, saying, I like to make a final decision 1 second before. You like to make a final decision 1 second before. A final decision that could result in the deaths of millions of people in Iran. Millions of innocent people. Because Israel is bloodthirsty, unhinged, and has no fucking guardrails. Because the prior administration, the Biden administration, gave them full green light to do whatever it is for their fucking safety. And so now, here we are with another administration who just doesn't care whatsoever. They don't even pretend to care about people around the world. I said this yesterday. We have been taught through policy, through culture and media indoctrination, that the Middle East, it's just filled with evil people and terrorists, right? That are not deserving of self-determination, that are not deserving of protecting themselves. No, they must live in surrender to others. Why? Because 2 billion people are Muslim and worship a different God. We've been told through Indiana Jones movies and shows like Homeland and American Sniper and all others that these people, those women that wear hijabs, they speak a different dialect, they pray to a different God, we should fear them. It's us against them. We even had the late John McCain singing Bomb, 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 Bomb Iraq, a sociopath song about killing people. We drop bombs indiscriminately. Today, right? Tucker Carlson made news because he interviewed Marco Rubio, saying, Secretary of State, how many people live in Tehran? What's the population? Says, I don't know. What's America's cause to entry into this war? Oh, I don't know. Tucker Carlson is a piece of shit. He's a racist. He's a misogynist. But he did more work in questioning Marco Rubio about this administration's decisions around aligning with Israel because Ted Cruz, not Marco Rubio. Sorry. Thank you, friends in the chat. Ted Cruz, he says to him, his response to Tucker Carlson is, we need to care about safety. We need to assist Israel. And he goes, when did America become part of Israel? These are questions that should be asked. I mean, it's like yesterday, I'm talking about the one moment that Marjorie Taylor Greene is right, also on this issue, which is we have no business aligning with Israel to attack Iran, to escalate into a potential nuclear war. Do you recognize how many fucking wars Israel is fighting right now, all of which they've instigated? And we're just supposed to continue to funnel money and funnel weapons? And now Donald Trump is like, nah, I don't really know. I don't really know what I want to do. He says, quote, I have ideas as to what to do. Are they concepts of plans? Remember that? Remember his other concepts of plans, except he has some ideas of what to do. His decision could cause the unnecessary deaths of millions of people. But this is how Donald Trump talks about it today. I like to make a final decision 1 second before. Earlier in the day on the White House lawn, he told reporters, I may do it, I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. What? You're the president of the United States. This motherfucker has access to 5,177 nuclear warheads. And he thinks that this is a fucking game and a fucking joke. I may do it, I may not do it. Nobody knows what I'm going to do because I'm just so unpredictable. I'm just so fun and fancy free that way. His cryptic remarks were being watched closely around the world. Of course, they're being watched closely. Because other countries need to decide very quickly what they're going to do. If it turns out that America is going all fucking in for Netanyahu, a sociopath, a homicidal, genocidal murderer. The prospect of direct American involvement in the war has added to fears of a wider conflagration in the Middle East and led to rifts among Trump's Republican allies and supporters, because guess what? His people don't want this. And for a whole host of reasons, right? Like, I'm not saying that we all have the same reasons as to not wanting to join forces with Israel in bombing of Iran. Some of their decisions and justification is blatantly anti-Semitic. Mine is not. And some of those are like, this is not our fight. Netanyahu has already said, I'll go it alone. He'll go it alone because guess who has given him nonstop fucking resources? He can go it alone because he has all the fucking guns. He's got all the bombs. He's got billions of dollars. And all he has to do is spread lies and talk about, oh, we fear for our lives, when you're the ones with a nuclear arsenal and hate in your heart. I want folks to ask themselves this question real quick, because this is something that I talked about today on both of my Substack lives. I did one with my friend Jared Yates Sexton that I do at 12 p.m. our check-in. And then I did another one, which is the midweek check-in for Democracy-ish, both that are up right now. Well, one of them is up right now on my Substack. Got to do the other one. It's been a busy day. Needless to say, that what I said was, why does one country have the right to defend itself and the other doesn't? That literally, like, really ask yourself this question. Our foreign policy is based entirely on discrimination and racism. And I want folks to really understand that. That the only reason that you believe, and the Iranian regime is terrible, so is the American regime right now. Does that mean that I think that America should be wiped off the map? No. It means that I think that we need fucking leadership change. But I want people to question why one country is allowed to defend itself and another country has to live on its knees. And really think about that for a moment. And who told you that the one is evil? Oh, they're evil. Oh, they're dangerous. Do you see what the fuck Netanyahu is doing? Have you seen what America has done? We've ended health aid and medicine and food by cutting off and gutting USAID, resulting in potentially the deaths of 300,000 people a year, according to some data. That's not evil? That's not sociopathic? I'm going to get to later on what decisions came out of the Supreme Court and what the Trump administration has done. Even further, here, we talk about the war that is potentially going to be waged overseas. They've been waging war here at home. But I want us to start thinking about why we think about parts of the world the way that we do, why we think about certain groups the way that we do, because we've been indoctrinated. We're the good guys. They're the bad guys. Says who? Just think about it. That's all I'm saying. And understand that, our foreign policy is run through the prism and the lens of white delusional paranoia. Whether it's this country, the UK, Germany, France, they all united and said, oh, these people can't have nuclear weapons, but we have to have them all. How about no one should have had nuclear weapons to begin with? Because now we are living in this nihilistic present where everything is up for grabs, the world, everything. And everything is about money and control and power and extraction. Do you know why you have some that are itching in Trump's cabinet and in Trump's orbit to go to war with Iran? Because it's lucrative. Because guess what? Well, guess what kind of minerals and resources they have over there? All of the things to feed that quote unquote AI revolution. This is an AI generated war. This is why they're talking about fucking invading Greenland. Every war that we've ever had has been about extracting resources in order to feed the wealth and the greed of the powerful. This is no different. They are willing to annihilate 92 million people or more so that Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk can win the AI war. Y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So here has been the response from the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. He dismissed Trump's threats and rejected his call for, quote, an unconditional surrender. And went on to say intelligent people who know Iran, the nation and the history of Iran, will never speak to this nation in the language of threats because the Iranian nation cannot be surrendered. The Americans should know that any U.S. military intervention will undoubtedly be accompanied by irreparable damage. So, what are these next steps according to the New York Times? Israel has been pressing for the United States to assist in the effort to destroy Iran's nuclear program, and in particular to use its largest bunker busting bombs, which Israel does not have, nor the planes capable of delivering them, against Iranian nuclear facilities deep underground. The threat of retaliation. Iranian officials have said that if the United States enters the war, Iran will attack American bases in the region. Iran has prepared missiles for these possible strikes, according to U.S. officials who have reviewed intelligence reports. Shift in strategy. In Iran, Israel is carrying out the kind of broad and brazen attack that it long threatened but never dared to enact until they were attacked. Who provoked Iran? Israel. Even after Donald Trump and Joe Biden, when he was president, told Netanyahu not to and to let them continue with diplomatic talks. Netanyahu gave both administrations the finger and did what he wanted to do anyway, and is now goading the United States, its biggest funder and backer, into a potential World War III. This is wild to me. That change has redrawn the power dynamics in the Middle East, unraveled Iran's regional alliance, and enshrined Israel as the dominant military force in the region. Amid severe disruption to internet services in Iran, the country's state broadcaster urged people to remove WhatsApp from their phones. WhatsApp, by the way, controlled by Meta, claiming that the messaging app was collecting user information and sending it to Israel. WhatsApp has rejected the allegations. Who are you going to believe at this point? Because everyone's fucking lying. But here's the thing. I say, trust your eyes and your ears. I said yesterday, there was a nuclear deal on the table with Iran. 2 years of negotiations, 7 countries involved in it. But it was put together by Barack Obama. And guess who has Barack Obama living rent-free in his mind? Donald Trump. So guess what he did when he came into office the first time? Tore up the fucking deal. So we're not here because Iran did anything wrong. We're here because Donald Trump backed the United States out of an agreement that took years to get to because he wanted to take credit for it and couldn't. So said, I can come up with something better. Didn't. Then says, oh, I alone can talk to Netanyahu. He listens to me. He doesn't listen to Biden. Netanyahu look like he's listening to Donald Trump. He is not. And over the last 6 days has engaged in provoking Iran. In the meantime, he has attacked Lebanon and other countries. Netanyahu is going for all the chips right now. And there is no one in a position, no country, no leader that can stop him other than Donald Trump cutting off the fucking welfare drip to this nation. Meanwhile, you have Lindsey Graham and Mike Lee saying, yay, pray for Israel, but offering no prayers to the innocent millions of people that are in Tehran and in Iran. So when I say that our national policy, that not only our national policy, but our foreign policy is done through the lens of racism and discrimination and Islamophobia, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about. So then what happens, folks? The United States links arms with Israel. We begin bombing Iran. The world powers reconfigurate. We're no longer part of the allies, the quote unquote good guys. We're spearheading the axis of evil. And the difference between the Hitler regime and the Trump regime, Hitler didn't have nukes. So while we are, waiting on Donald Trump to maybe start World War III, maybe not. It depends how he's feeling, because tens of millions of Americans decided that, politics wasn't really their thing. It was kind of icky. So now we have a sociopathic toddler with his hands on the fucking nuclear weapons. Politics doesn't have anything to do with me. No, it has everything to do with you, with us. But while we're waiting to see what kind of wars Donald Trump is going to get us into, he's already been waging war on American citizens. Today, his stacked and corrupt Supreme Court decided to uphold Tennessee's state ban on transgender care for minors. The justices ruled that the Tennessee's law, which prohibited some medical treatments for transgender youth, did not violate equal protection principles. Oh no, it absolutely does violate equal protection principles. They just don't give a fuck because they don't see trans people as needing rights. The conservative majority on the Supreme Court on Wednesday voted to uphold a state ban prohibiting some medical treatments for transgender youth, shielding similar laws in more than 20 other states. I just want to say something really quickly about this. So it's always about parental rights and parental control when it comes to book banning and changing curriculum, right? But when it comes to having parental control over your own children, the state of Tennessee has said, no, the state knows better. So all of this talk about states' rights and this, that, and the other thing is bullshit, because it only matters when it's red states that are in control and red states that want to take control over your body. I said this before. First, they'll come for women and Roe v. Wade, and they'll do that. Then it's transgender people. Then who else's bodily autonomy is the state, is the government going to take control over? We'll get to that story, another one, towards the end of the show. John Roberts, part of the 6-3 majority, acknowledged, quote, the fierce scientific and policy debates about the safety, efficacy, and propriety of medical treatments in an evolving field. Also bullshit. Because all the data, medical research, has said that treating gender dysmorphia is life-saving treatment. It isn't fucking rhinoplasty. It is life-saving treatment. for trans people. And we don't have doctors in this country making the decisions. We have a bunch of politicized hacks making the decisions instead. In the dissent, Sotomayor writes that the court abandons transgender children to political whims. It was a 31-page dissent that she wrote. And I just want to say this. On top of her dissent, which obviously she was joined by Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson, the other sane justices on the court. On the same day that Donald Trump's stacked MAGA Supreme Court upholds the abuse and neglect of trans youth in defiance of their parents and their caregivers and their guardians. You know what else this administration did? Let me show you. The Trump administration to shut down LGBTQ youth suicide hotline. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline will no longer utilize its LGBTQ youth service line starting July 17th. The Trump administration will shut down the LGBTQ youth suicide lifeline in 30 days. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration announced Tuesday that the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline will no longer utilize its LGBTQ youth services, also known as the Press 3 option. Tell me again about your care for children. You don't give a fuck about kids. You care about control. And that's what it's always been about. So not only do you stop life-affirming care, but in those kids who are going to call out for help, there will be none. The agency will no longer silo LGB plus youth services, notably removing the T representing the trans community in the acronym to focus on serving all help seekers, including those previously served through Press 3. And I just want to be very clear. The Press 3 option rolled out as a pilot program in 2022 in a government contract with the Trevor Project, a suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ people. Those in need of help would call 988 and be given the option to Press 3 to connect with counselors that were trained to assist people up to the age of 25 years old. Because here's the thing. The needs of LGBTQ youth are different than everybody else's needs. It isn't a generalized service. This was a targeted service for a marginalized population that is susceptible to suicide. 1.3 million youth access that hotline. And now on top of the Supreme Court telling them that they ain't shit. Now when they feel like shit and they want to take their own lives, this government said, go right ahead. When I tell you that do not talk to me about fucking 2026 and waiting on 2026 and waiting on 2028 as if we're going to have free and fair elections, that the campaign of cruelty that this administration is running in this country and around the world has got to be stopped. We, the people, are the only ones that can stop it. You say, how, Danielle? How? What are we supposed to do? A national goddamn strike. It is time to shut this country the fuck down. People are losing their lives. They're losing their livelihoods because of this regime. We are only but a handful of months into this shit, and the destruction that have been caused thus far will take generations to undo. If you think that somehow sitting on our hands and waiting for a 2026 fucking midterm elections as if we don't believe that the 2024 elections were tampered with and there are questions about the voting machines, none of which Democrats have investigated because they are useless like a limp dick. Folks, we cannot wait for some magical Democrat, some magical leader to come ride in on somebody's horse and say, I'm here to save the day. The Avengers ain't coming. And the only way that I see us getting through this is shutting this entire shit down. Because this is what happened yesterday that I wasn't able to get to. Brad Lander, New York City comptroller, is arrested by ICE agents. I watched the video. Roughed all the way the fuck up. And I'm saying to myself, if this is how they treat elected officials in broad daylight, caught on camera, what do you think that they are doing to undocumented people? What do you think that they're doing to the random brown people that they are picking up on the fucking street and kidnapping? This man was calling for their fucking warrant. Where is your warrant? Show me your warrant. They keep telling us that they're going after, the illegals, but you're arresting people that are showing up for court? They keep telling us that they're going off to the leeches of society, but they're arresting people at their fucking jobs? How does that make sense? The crime is being black and brown. That is the crime. And they are making an example of every single one of these elected officials, whether it be U.S. Senator Alex Padilla last week, Brad Lander this week, the judge in Wisconsin a couple of weeks ago, all to silence the rest of us. To make us think that if we keep our heads down and we just stay silent and we close our eyes and close our ears and allow them to gaslight the fuck out of us, then somehow we'll be able to ride out this storm. There is no riding out this storm. You either power through it or you get sucked up in it. That is the image. Masked men. Where are their fucking badges? I said this on Blue Sky yesterday. New York City, along with every other fucking city and state, needs to pass legislation that says that if you are law enforcement, your badge needs to be visible and your face must remain unfucking covered. Because tell me the difference between fucking criminals and ICE. Tell me the difference between an organized crime gang and ICE. I don't see a difference. And for those that continue to say, well, he should have just what? Followed what? Followed what lawlessness? Lander, a Democrat, was observing proceedings at the city's main immigration courthouse, as he has the right to do, where an increasing number of migrants who appear for court have been arrested for appearing in court. You're telling me that people are here illegally and they're going, and you need to go through things the right way. And the right way is to go through the court system, and you're arresting them at court? Because there is no right way. Not if you are brown, not if you are black. They do not want you here. They don't even want the citizens that live here here. On top of which, what else is happening? What else has happened? I will read you one of the most disgusting stories. And I've been following it. And it reached its conclusion this week. Adriana Smith, woman in Georgia, forced to stay on life support, brain dead, against her family's wishes because of Georgia's draconian abortion ban, had her deliver a baby boy premature through cesarean section last week, Friday. The baby weighs 1 pound and 13 ounces. Baby delivered from brain dead Georgia woman. Abortion ban blocked early care decisions. She was declared brain dead in February. But the hospital refused to take her off of life support because it would have killed her fetus. So she became a fucking incubator. Because that's all women are. Adriana Smith's baby's name, Chance, was kept in the neonatal intensive care unit. He's expected to be okay. Is he? Is he going to be okay? And there are some that will say, but oh, isn't this a gift? Her family has a piece of her. Her family didn't get to decide how their daughter passed. They didn't have control over her body, over her wishes. They didn't get the dignity and respect shown to them to be able to bury their daughter when they got the horrific news that she wasn't coming back. There are so many of these stories. There have been so many of these stories since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, since the stacking of the Supreme Court by Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump, since no pushback from Democrats who are complicit in all of this. So no, they're not coming to our aid. No one is coming to save us. The monsters are running the country. And the sloths of the Democratic Party are just standing by and watching them do it. It is up to we, the people. $12 to 13 million people had their voices heard on Saturday with the No Kings protest. It was brilliant and beautiful to see. It provided me with much needed hope and faith. But what would happen if 12 million people decided, we're not working? I'm not going to continue to feed the monsters that are literally breaking my back. I'm not going to continue to feed a system that upholds my subjugation. What were to happen if we organized a national strike in the same way that the Montgomery bus boycott was organized? That didn't happen overnight. It took 18 months and deep planning and organization because people needed to get to and from work in rain, sleet, and snow. Who was going to provide the shoes? Who was going to provide the rides? We need, as Jared Yates Sexton said on our Substack Live today, to build the infrastructure that allows us to resist. But if you think that any fucking politician is coming around that is going to be our person, that is going to be our voice, you will be waiting a long fucking time because these same people enable Donald Trump by not forcefully challenging him. Joe Biden came into office and he should have said, first of all, not made Merrick Garland the fucking Attorney General of the United States, and said, we need to reorder America. Trumpism is a cancer and it has to go. Start the court cases. Pick him up off the street. Arrest everybody. Because no one is above the law. And instead, what did they do? Oh, the system worked, they said. Oh, the people voted. All is well. Naive and fucking clueless. There is so much happening. It honestly is like having your head on a swivel. This administration has us all as Jared said today, sleepwalking towards the meat grinder. The people have got to rise up. The people have got to wake up. We need consistent mass action. We need a national strike. We need national boycott. We need to shut the capitalist, monstrous machine, war machine down. And we can't wait until 2026 to do it. That is it for me today here, friends, on the Danielle Moodie Show. I'm going to go into town hall for roughly 10 minutes. So if you have questions, because I could not get to the town hall yesterday, if you have questions for me, do type out question in all capital, followed by your question, and I will do my best to get to them. And let's get into it. We are doing Town Hall Tuesday on a Wednesday because that's just the kind of world that we're living in, and we need to be nimble and roll with the punches. So if you have a question for me, please do write question in all capital letters followed by your question, and I will do my best to get to them. In the meantime, thank you to Susan. If you have not liked, commented, and shared, please do so. And also, we are so close, so very close to 25,000. If you do hit the bell, subscribe, it is free, and help us get over that hump. All right, first question in. Lisa, how likely is it that we're getting closer to actual war? Very likely. Very likely. We are so close, we can smell the smoke. Like this is not hyperbole. This is not crazy thought. This is the reality of where we are. And we have Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth in charge. So what, that's that. Question: when will Waj and you do Andor season 2 review? So we were supposed to do it today. And then, pending World War III. We were supposed to do it last week. So what I said to Waj is let's do it after the 4th of July holiday, and designate that time. So we're going to do it after the 4th of July holiday. We'll do it that following Wednesday. I'm super excited about it. Oh, this is an interesting question. Have you ever learned something from a child? Yes. I learn a great deal of patience, and I learn wonder from children. You ever hang out with a toddler and just like how excited they are about everything? Um, it's kind of amazing, and it makes you just take pause in the things that we take for granted as adults and just kind of marvel in them all over again. So I learn the act of wonder and patience. Good question. Marilyn, do you get to have fun anymore? Yes. Yes, I do. The other day, I went to a WNBA game. Before that, I was away with one of my best friends up in the country in Rhode Island. I try and make time all the time for joy, for joyful things, for connecting with my community, my people, my family. I make that a priority. So yes, I do, and I hope everyone else does too. How close am I to 25,000? Well, let us look. Let's see. What do the gods tell us? 5 subscribers away. I am 5 subscribers away right now at 24,995 subscribers. 5 subscribers away from 25,000. Can we do it before the end of this show? I feel like an auctioneer. Um Question: have you heard that Mike Huckabee, Cruz, and others want sickness, planet destruction, etc., to occur in order to prompt the end of the world, according to the biblical text about Israel? Yes, I actually have heard this. And yes, they are religious zealots, and there are people that believe that if we fuel Israel, it will bring about the destruction of the world and the second coming of Christ. Yes. And there are people inside of this cabinet, inside of Donald Trump that have his ear that think that exact way. 100%. And it is terrifying. Oh, this is a good question. Did you take heart at the No Kings protest? Absolutely. I did. I watched like so many clips. I saw so many photos. And you're asking, did I take heart or did I take part? I did not. I don't do crowds anymore, and haven't for a very long time. And so I encourage other people to go to protests. I have a lot of anxiety and I don't anymore. The cramming in of people, I really can't do it. So I encourage other people to. That's just not where I find myself that I need to be for my own health. But did I take heart? Yes, I did. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I mean, I saw one clip yesterday that was a community that were of like that took part in part of the march that were deaf marchers. The signing and the stomping, it was incredible. It was incredible to see. Everyone was outside protesting against Donald Trump, and it was beautiful. Is there any positive news? Mm, anyone? Does anyone have any positive news? Anyone? I didn't see any today. So, um, do you like sports? The NBA finals are on, and The WNBA is heating up. But good news around politics? No. Sorry, Michael. Kids are amazing. I'm sorry, I was looking for questions. I didn't put the screen didn't pause. It was me. Question: how much gloating did you do after seeing Trump's Kim Jong-un? It's like, I didn't think anybody was showing up, to be honest. Like, what I did love was the squeaky army tank. I played that video and I loved it so much because it was just emblematic of this entire administration. But if we go back to Donald Trump's first inauguration, where they lied to us about the crowd size, right? Oh, we don't believe your eyes. There were millions of people there. Really? Because we know what millions of people look like because we saw Barack Obama's inauguration. And then you did the second inauguration inside because it was too cold. No, it was because nobody was coming. And I believe they knew that nobody was coming because they knew they didn't win the election. Those are my theories and thoughts, folks. You don't have to take what I say, but theories and thoughts, because guess what? It was just as cold January 20th, 2025 as it was when Barack Obama was inaugurated the first time, and they didn't cancel and do it indoors. And so Donald Trump puts on this parade. And what's wonderful is that he couldn't gaslight himself. But maybe, as I said the other day, that my sister says, do you think that he even sees like reality? Or do you think that he just like sees things and he just tells himself like it is what it is, right? Like what he wants it to be. That's what's crazy to me. But yes, I did gloat a bit. Christine, sorry. Can you put together a starting outline on how to do a nationwide shutdown for those of us who are like deer in headlights? I would encourage you to listen to my episode, the episode of the check-in today with Jared Yates Sexton, which is up now on the Damn Digest, because Jared put together like in his conversation, this is the infrastructure that's needed to be built. This is what we need to do. So I would encourage you to go watch that video and pick a piece of what he said and take it upon yourself and run with it, in all honesty. Because Jared just offered so many hits yesterday. It was extraordinary. I mean, today it was extraordinary. I'm going to take two more questions. No. Rashad, do you think we will make it to midterm elections? And if so, will they be free and fair? I fear they won't. No, I do not think that we're going to make it to midterm elections. And no, I do not believe that if elections were to happen, that they're going to be free and fair. This is why I'm calling for a national boycott and a national strike, because we cannot wait around for an election when I don't believe that the last election wasn't tampered with. And I don't say that in the Donald Trump conspiracy theory where there's nothing proven. There was no investigation, but there have been rumblings about Smartmatic and other voting machines that were tampered with. There were bomb threats that day where places were cleared out. And then all of a sudden, Donald Trump wins 7 battleground states. And then you see the numbers of people that are protesting against him. Yes, tens of millions of people did not vote. But I believe in my heart that Donald Trump won 7 battleground states like nobody in history has ever done? Absolutely fucking not. Looking, did I? Stunna, I'm gonna go look. Friends, we hit 25,000 subscribers, technically 25,006 subscribers today. I am so ecstatic and happy. Thank you to those that put us over the edge today. And for those of you that show up here every single day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. I appreciate you. Now we have a new goal to hit, but let's celebrate the fact that Damn Nation hit 25,000 1,000 subscribers today. And it is because of all of you. It is because of you showing up. It is because of your sharing, your liking, your commenting, your super stickers, and your super thanks that allow me to continue growing and doing the work that I believe that I am called to do. And so I want to thank each and every single one of you. This is truly like exciting. It is truly like just, I'm so excited that it happened too when I was still on air. I really, really, really appreciate every single person that is here, that shows up, that watches after, that shares. So yes. Oh, somebody said, Michael, there is your good news. Damnation hit 25,000 subscribers. And, that means that there are still good people. And I believe that too. Yes, I believe that too. We should have 1 million, baby steps, but we are making strides. And I want to thank each and every single one of you. All right, friends, I will be back here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. So please do join. And we made it 25,000. Thank you to all of the super stickers and super thanks. Thank you, Mikkel. Thank you, Soul. Thank you, Barb, Edward, Aaron, Renee, Celeria. Thank you. Thank you so very much for your contributions. Every single dollar, cent helps. And I appreciate you. Thank you, Trash Panda. Appreciate you all so, so very much. As always, power to the people and to all the people power. Get woke, stay sane, and in these increasingly and extraordinarily dangerous times, dear friends, do stay safe. I will see you back here, 5 p.m. Eastern. Be well. And cheers to us, 25,000. Be well.